Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. "We're moving in on Sunday," he said, grinning, like he'd won something I didn't know I was competing for. My wife stood beside him, avoiding my eyes, fingers tightening around the mug she wasn't drinking from. Steam drifted upward, slow and deliberate, like time mocking me. "Your wife already approved," he added. For a moment, I didn't breathe. The air in the kitchen felt heavier, louder. A thin smile pulled at my mouth before I realized it. "Did she?" He nodded, his grin widening. "Yeah, she thought it'd be good for family to stay close." Family. That word cracked something deep inside me. I reached for my phone on the counter. A vibration hit my palm. Security system alert. Motion detected. Backyard. Trespassing recorded. My thumb hovered over the screen. I opened the live feed. There he was. Him. Standing by the shed last night. Looking up at the house. The same man now sitting at my table, sipping coffee, pretending to be family. I didn't react. I couldn't afford to. Instead, I turned off the feed and slid the phone into my pocket like nothing happened. Inside, my pulse was a slow drum. Outside, I looked calm. Later that night, after they went to bed, I re-watched the footage. He'd come 3 nights in a row, always when I was working late, always when she thought I wouldn't know. I'd suspected something before. The quiet texts, the locked phone, the way she'd say his name too softly when recalling a story. But I buried it under reason, under love, until now. The idea of him moving in wasn't a coincidence. It was strategy, to stay close, to keep control, and she'd agreed. I stared at the screen until my reflection blurred. I wanted to feel rage, but all I felt was calculation. Something colder than hate, something that doesn't burn, it freezes. The next morning, I made breakfast, acted normal. She smiled like nothing was wrong. "How do you feel about your brother moving in?" I asked, slicing fruit. She hesitated. Too long. "It'll just be for a while." "Right, just until he gets back on his feet," I nodded. He'd been getting back on his feet for 3 years, and somehow his falls always happened near her. When she left for work, I followed, quietly. I watched her stop 2 streets early, get into another car. His car. By then, the ache had turned into clarity. Every movement I made after that had purpose. I began collecting phone backups, old messages, deleted photos from her cloud. She was careless. Most liars are. The pieces formed themselves, like a puzzle I'd been too blind to see before. Him at her birthday dinner last year, arriving early. Her necklace, one I never bought, appearing a week after his trip. The hotel receipt hidden in her email drafts, dated the same weekend I buried my father. It wasn't just betrayal, it was choreography, and I was the fool applauding from the front row. A week passed before I ordered the DNA test. Not for me, no, that was too easy. For her, for the child she swore was ours. When the results came, I didn't open them immediately. I waited until she was asleep beside me. Her phone buzzed once on the nightstand. His name. Can't wait to live together. She won't suspect a thing. My thumb tightened on the envelope. When I finally tore it open, the world went quiet. Even my breath sounded foreign. Probability of paternity? 0.00. I looked at her sleeping face. So calm, so rehearsed, like she'd been practicing for this moment long before I arrived. For the first time in months, I smiled. Sunday arrived. They moved boxes into the hallway, laughing, talking about furniture placement. I stood at the door, silent. He handed me a crate of dishes. "Don't worry, man, we'll make it work." "Oh, I know," I said softly. I'd already made sure of that. An hour later, the system pinged again. Motion detected, basement access opened. He'd found the folder I left there, the one labeled Home Insurance. Inside, photos of them together, hotel receipts, the paternity report, and one printed email I'd sent to her parents detailing everything. I watched from upstairs as he froze, the color draining from his face. Then her voice echoed from behind him. "What is that?" He turned, couldn't speak. I heard her gasp, then silence. When I walked down, both of them were staring at me like I was the ghost haunting their house. I stopped at the bottom step. "You two really should have checked the cameras," I said. Neither moved. "You've been on them for months." Her knees buckled. His mouth opened, closed. I placed my phone on the table. The screen played the video. Him sneaking into the house, her meeting him in the dark. Every secret replayed in perfect clarity. "This was never your home," I whispered. Then I walked past them, out the door. That night I slept at a hotel downtown, alone. No calls, no apologies, just silence. The next morning the moving truck was gone, her car too. I didn't follow, didn't need to. Some truths don't need witnesses, they just need to exist. I deleted the security app, wiped the recordings, and dropped the phone into the river behind the hotel. Control. By the time the sun rose, the house was empty of their ghosts, and for the first time in years, so was I. I didn't hate her anymore. Hate was too human for what she'd done. What I felt was colder, like standing over ashes that never belonged to me. I whispered her name once, softly, just to hear how quiet it sounded now. Then I turned away, and this time I didn't look back.